Hi, thank you for watching a new video blog. Today from Cesenatico, Italy. You will never hear me citing science a lot in my videos. Basically, you will never hear me citing any scientists or scientific proofs or anything that is related to science in my videos. Because that's, I think, not really interesting. Science is just a minefield full of ideas and theories, and they can be twisted in just a second. You don't know, like a minefield, you don't know where you step on. You give an argument and they will give you 1,000 weird arguments back that you cannot even defend yourself from. So to me it's never really interesting to throw scientific quotes and scientific studies towards people. I think that any argument can be won with natural thinking, with thinking how it will be in nature. And it's, of course, it will not work in a mathematical discussion, but I'm not interested in mathematics. I think that's a great field of science, wonderful. And if that's your field of interest, fine, I don't have a problem with that. The thing is that mostly, if you discuss with people about the things that they're bothering them, they come up with scientific proof or studies, and I don't think that is really any answer to any problem. Because, like I say, it's a minefield. There's always an argument behind, there's always somebody funding a study, there's always a deeper reason why somebody is promoting A or B. And also you find most answers in nature. You can really find any answer there for any problem that you might have. But in the end, most of the problems that we now have are non-existent in nature. And that's really an eye-opener, and that's really why I threw away all scientific discussion. For example, when you discuss with somebody about, let's say, pollution, they will come up with numbers and with studies and with percentages, like, oh, in this study in 2016 they showed that 55% of the pollution was from this or that, and it can all be debunked. It's just where you took your arguments from. And in nature you can just see, well, pollution is not a natural thing anyway, so what is the answer? Go back to nature and there won't be any pollution. And by repeating this idea of nature, natural thinking, you will finally remove yourself from civilization and from science, because science just like tales from the civilization, civilized tales, civilized fantasies in many cases, civilized Bible study, that's it. A civilized Bible study, the study of the civilization, Bible study. They explain things, how civilization works, and that's it. They don't really give an answer for the things. It's just always like they explain it to you. Okay, this is civilization, so it works like this. But they don't explain what it would be in nature, that there wouldn't be any pollution, there wouldn't be any crime, there wouldn't be any diseases, for example. They're all civilized problems, and you can, for example, with disease, you can say, oh no, this treatment is better than this treatment, or you can cure this way or that way. But most of the diseases are not really well understood by science. For example, like it's like a cliche, but like everybody will say, oh, you get cancer now from everything, which is basically true. Civilization will give you cancer. Why? Because nature fights civilization. If you leave a town abandoned for 10 years, you will see trees shooting up, you will see houses getting destroyed, you will see slowly the city will be erased and eradicated. So that's what nature does. If you are in a civilization, you and your body will fight against this civilization. So that's why you, for example, you get these diseases. Of course, science will say, oh no, you go to the hospital at a civilized place and we will remove this disease from you. But basically you're removing yourself fighting against civilization. So all the answers for all the problems these days is going back to nature, to our natural state, primitive state, primal state, whatever you want to call it. Because basically you are always fighting civilization. Everybody is fighting civilization because they don't want to be here. And some people are not really aware of this. They think, they're taught themselves that they are part of this, that they like it in civilization. But if you really go deep, they will not like it. They want to get out of this system. They will want to go back to nature, want to live more natural and as natural as possible. So that is why I don't really have any respect also for people that throw science on me. I think that's just like toddler behavior. It's just like what they have been taught and they just adopted it and say, oh yeah, but this is the way we should look at the world. There's science, that's just the answer for everything. And like I say, no, it's not. It's like you went to Bible study, science Bible study, and somebody instructed you to look at the world in a certain way. Mostly these professors are really unhealthy. They also have mental problems. They're just like anybody else in civilization. They don't have the answer, of course. But they have also been taught the same. They thought, okay, this is the answer for the problems in civilization. We can sort of manage it in a different way, but the problems will still exist because, of course, civilization is unnatural and is therefore something that nature will fight against because it wants to restore and go back to its natural state. So I don't really, well, that's why I never answer any scientific debates, because I think it's like a super low level. I think it's made for people for schoolboys that just learned, oh okay, you know, I have been taught something in school, let's show that I know what I have been taught in school. And they don't really look to the world themselves. They haven't really thought about how nature would react to things. So for me, when somebody comes up with, oh yeah, it's just basically over. When somebody has no arguments, no natural arguments, for example, I sometimes debate with people, not really a lot, because I know that they will eventually come up with their science proof, because they don't have any ideas themselves. It's interesting to see to me, but it's basically also a little bit boring, because to me it must be really hard to live like this, to not have your own ideas. Always have taken the ideas of somebody that taught you how to think and not to see how nature is. That's not to say I'm like a genius or smarter or whatever. It's just like I understood the natural laws and nature, and if you understand this, you will never want to go back to science, because you understand that science is very abstract. It's very based on opinions and on who's funding the science rather than on any truth. So that was it for today. Thank you for watching, and from Cesenatico, Italy, I say see you next time.
Eh?